So, semi-automatic military style rifles, not everybody's cup of tea. Me personally, I think they're brilliant. I love them. They're great fun to use, and I do like the look of them. This is the Guncraft AR-15 in 22 WMR. Lovely little rifle this. So we're just going to run through basically the setup I've got here. Now this isn't, it's not how you would buy this rifle direct from Guncraft. I've tweaked a few bits and bobs and put some upgrades and that on there. Now that's the beauty of the AR-15 platform, mil spec like this one, is that they're like Lego but for men. You can just kind of add and chop and change bits and pieces and make the thing completely your own. So we'll start off, we'll just have a little look at the scope. So the scope that I've gone for on here is the new Element Theos 2 to 10 by 42 scope. Lovely scope that, really nice optic, illuminated reticle, variable mag obviously, dialable turrets. This one's in MRAD, comes with a sunshade and an neoprene cover and that for it. The actual rifle itself, I've changed out the stock and the grip there, and I've also added a full grip there as well. So the normal one looks very similar, not an awful lot of difference. It's just that it's black, so I went for a field dark earth on there, so flat dark earth, sorry I should say. And I've also chopped out the safety selector there. Being left-handed, it's quite handy for me to have that on the opposite side, so I can just flick that round with my thumb. So it's a nice, straightforward, easy modification to yourself. So I've changed that. Oh, I've also changed out the trigger as well. So we start on a negative on the gun, and that was purely the trigger. For me, perfectly functional and not an issue. But just for me, especially using kind of shall we say like more precision rifles, target rifles and stuff like that, the trigger was quite heavy, and I just wanted something that was a little bit less creep to it and just a bit more kind of snappy. So I've changed the trigger. And other than that, it's basically standard. Comes with a working forward assist. You've got a working dust cover on there. These rifles do have a last round bolt hold open, as you can see. When you drop the magazine out, the bolt will come forward. When you insert another full magazine, you'll then have to cycle the bolt before you can fire. You do also have a bolt hold open catch on the opposite side of the rifle there, which does hold the bolt back should you wish, and then you can drop another magazine in there and then just release the bolt. Obviously it's snagging up at the moment because that's an empty magazine, but normally that would just drop forward, chambering around, and you're ready to fire again. So these rifles come in various different barrel lengths. This one is a 13 3/4. You can also have a 12-inch barrel, and they also do longer options as well. It's got on there a Guncraft moderator. Now that's a very clever little moderator, that, because that actually fits on top of the muzzle brake. So you can have a muzzle brake on there, and then you can add this particular moderator, which screws over the muzzle brake, so you have the best of both worlds on it. You've got a 12-inch M-lock handguard on there. That's free floating, so it doesn't touch the barrel at all. And obviously all your bits and pieces like these and that will just connect in on these slots, just M-lock slots. It's a medium weight border barrel. It's got a 1 in 14 twist on it. A4 mil spec upper receiver. Both the upper and lower receivers are aluminium, so you've got a real authentic kind of AR-15 platform there. It's not the 1522. This is all metal, and you can certainly feel the weight when you pick it up. This thing really feels the part, and it acts the part as well. 22 WMR. If you've never used this caliber, it sits sort of halfway between a 22 LR and a 17 HMR. So you're firing a 40 grain bullet or 30 grain bullet. These rifles actually cycle and work better with a 40 grain. Yeah, so you've got a little bit more drop than you have with a HMR, but of course you are firing a considerably heavier bullet, and it's probably like twice the weight bullet, so it is going to drop away quicker, but it does pack a punch. And I think probably if you wanted to use this rifle as a hunting rifle, foxing, probably out to 100, maybe a little bit more, 100, 150 max, I should think. But yeah, it does certainly smack stuff, and you know, perfectly good for rabbits and corvids and stuff like that. Accuracy wise, straight out the box, just with the first ammunition I tried, which was these, the CCI Maxi Mags, I was getting about an inch group, so not bad at all for a you know, for a semi-auto. Never going to be as accurate as a bolt action rifle, but certainly very good. Reliability seems to cycle these very well. In fairness, I've not really tried it with anything else much. I did get given a half a box of 30 grain ammunition, but it didn't always cycle those. I think possibly just because they are that much lighter, it wasn't quite so keen. But these cycles them reliably. I do get the odd stovepipe with it. But I mean, it's a semi-auto. That's the nature of them. You are going to get the odd sort of failure to cycle. But on the whole, they do seem to run pretty well. Going back to the rifle, as you can see, you've got a full-length Picatinny rail on there. Now, one thing to bear in mind, you will, when you put a scope on there, you're going to want a sort of a higher mount on there, quite likely, because otherwise you're not going to get the clearance with the objective lens on it. Bearing in mind, most rifle barrels on a normal sporter rifle, the profile drops away, so it kind of gives you that bit of extra room for your objective lens. On these, you don't have that. You don't have that situation. It's just a flat rail. So yeah, higher mounts, but that actually gives you a really comfortable sort of position behind the rifle anyway. Good sort of eye alignment there. Stock wise, we've got a standard mil spec stock. You've got 6-position adjustment there on the tube. Magazines are Black Dog magazines, quite a common magazine. They seem to work perfectly well. The only thing I'm not that keen on is the fact that they're like a clear type plastic. So I've got some of these PMag covers and just cut them down, and you can slot those on there, and that gives you a nice sort of like rubbery grip, and that will drop into the rifle and look quite the part in there. So yeah, they're a nice sort of option, and you can buy spare magazines from Guncraft. These are 14 round magazines. They're not the highest capacity, but to be fair, I mean, I've generally been running this. I've just been using 10 rounds in it, and purely because it 2 rows of out of the box straight into the magazine, and yeah, works for me. Anyway, enough of this. Let's put some rounds down range and see what you reckon to it. Okay, right, let's see how it does at a bit of distance then. So we've got a rat target down there, that is at 50 metres. Big rat, crow behind, crow, rat behind that. Okay, dead rat, rabbit behind, dead rabbit, squirrel, dead squirrel. Okay, so these are quite straightforward. We go out a little bit further. Let's go out to the 100 metre target down the bottom there. No problem with that. A little bit further out, up on the bank there, got a couple of targets. I'll just move the camera for that one. A couple of targets just up here. We have got a little bit of wind blowing across there, so I think I'm just going to hold to the left edge, looking at the wind flag. There is probably a 5 to 10 mile an hour wind coming in. Okay, and we're out. Try that one again. Not a problem. Okay, so foxhead target behind. I'm going to give that, let's give that a little bit of elevation. Okay. Right, we'll go out to, got one behind that. That is 175 metres. Let's move the camera over a little bit. So probably, I don't know, let's go there somewhere. Haven't actually had a chance to work out ballistics for this yet. No, there it is, a bit more wind required. Okay, and we'll just go down to 200 metres as well, just for a bit of fun. Which is this target in the scrape here. Okay, I'm going to give that a bit more on the elevation, and on the wind I'll hold about there. A bit too much. There we go. Cool. So yeah, there's not much wrong with that. It certainly stretches out. Scope performs very well as well. That's the Element Theos, the 2-10x42. Nice little compact scope, that perfect for this sort of thing. So as you can see, this rifle is perfectly at home on the range, shooting targets, and certainly it will do the job as a foxing tool, close range foxing tool, and also for general purpose pest, rabbit control, stuff like that. But its real kind of niche area is definitely going to be practical rifle shooting. So if you're into practical rifle shooting, this is the tool for the job. So we've got a few targets outside here set up, that kind of scenario. So let's take it out and have a little play, see what it's like. Well, I've got to say I've had a lot of fun shooting this rifle on the range today, and I've also blazed through quite a few rounds of ammunition too, which incidentally, if you've got a semi-automatic rifle, you know how easy it is to get a bit trigger happy. Now, if you're interested in a rifle like this, they do also produce a 22LR version, which is going to be a little bit more economical than the WMR. However, the WMR does give you that bit of extra punch, and it's going to sort of, it's the most powerful rimfire that you're going to be able to legally own in the UK. So no 5.56 or 223 or whatever you want to call it. This is as good as it gets here in the UK. If you'd like to know more about these rifles, then you can head over to www.guncraftlimited.co.uk. There you'll find prices and more information on different versions and what have you, as well as all sorts of accessories and bits and bobs for these guns. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget, please like and subscribe, and check out our online magazine as well at countrysports.net.
Welcome to Country Sports Magazine, where the great outdoors comes alive. Each month you'll enjoy 100 pages of premium content, packed with expert reviews, field tests, and stories from the UK's top field sports writers. But this isn't just a digital magazine. Embedded video and clickable links let you watch, read, and explore every feature as it unfolds. The magazine and video content work hand in hand, delivering a unique, fully integrated experience for today's shooting community. Join free today at countrysports.net and experience field sports like never before.